Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all? And welcome to the scary videos, okay? The sister channel to this already channel. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, and in today's video, we are going to talk about Bloody Mary, right? Now, we all know the legend of Bloody Mary. Like, I'm hoping that you do. So basically, Bloody Mary में क्या होता है कि ना, you have to go to your bathroom or anywhere where there is a mirror, okay, and you light a candle. सब बिल्कुल अंधेरा करके you just have to have like a candle. सिर्फ एक source होना चाहिए रोशनी का. It's either a candle or a torch, right? And then you have to use that one source of light only, nothing else, okay? And then you have to say like Bloody Mary 13 times, I think, and after that you just have to stay quiet, okay? And probably Bloody Mary will visit you through that mirror, and if you are very close to that mirror, she might just take you with her in that mirror world. So yeah, it's scary, right? So the rule for playing Bloody Mary is do not go near the mirror if you have done the ritual, okay? Also, do not break the mirror because then you will free the Mary. So yeah, it's obviously scary. Now, this whole story is linked to a mirror, and some people say that it's the witch. It's either a witch in the mirror, or some people also link it to Queen Mary. Now, Queen Mary I of England, yeah, she is linked to this whole thing. And I was actually doing the research on Queen Mary, right? And I was like, wow, how messed up is too messed up, and too messed up is Mary's life. So I thought, okay, let's just make a video on her because it's interesting. She's a little bonkers, and yeah. So let's just get in the video. Let's talk about Mary. Let's go. Now, from my Gyan ki kitab, I have a full chapter dedicated to her with 2 pages because she had a lot of information on her. Okay, so Queen Mary I of England was born in 1516, and she was the eldest daughter of Henry VIII. Now, Henry VIII was the ruler of England उस time पर, like some province of England, जैसे Spain का अलग राजा था, तो just like Europe का एक part था England. And if I'm not wrong, I think Queen Elizabeth has to be इन्हीं की आगे successor and something. If I'm not wrong, I can be, okay? Now, Queen was the daughter of Henry VIII and Catherine. Now, as patriarchy works, Henry wanted a son to be the ruler of his kingdom after he dies, and he did not want a daughter, right? So, but unfortunately, Catherine, जो कि Mary की मम्मी थी, she never had a son. And this King Henry, what he did was, he cancelled his marriage to Catherine and just said कि ये मेरी wife नहीं है, and Mary is not my child, my legitimate child, since this wasn't my legitimate wife. अब ये मेरी बीवी नहीं है तो वो मेरी बेटी भी नहीं है. Sort of like that, okay? So that happened, and then Henry married somebody else, and they had Queen Elizabeth from that second marriage. So I think she's Queen Elizabeth the First. This queen again did not have a son, so Henry again cancelled this marriage and moved on to the third marriage, and both Elizabeth and Mary at this point were the illegitimate childs of this kingdom, okay? And they had no say over the throne. Like, अब अगर वो illegitimate हो गई हैं तो वो कल को queens नहीं बन सकती because they are not the rightful heir to the throne, okay? Then he marries the third person, that is Jane, and Jane, she gave birth to King Edward, but unfortunately she died during the childbirth, okay? But before dying, what she really did was, उसने Elizabeth और Mary को वापस बुला लिया था kingdom में, so that they can be the legitimate child, okay? Now, so after Jane died, Henry married 2 or 3 more women. Like, he married Anne of Cleves as her 4th wife, then there was another 5th wife, and then there was the 6th wife as well. So इस सब के बीच में एडवर्ड जो था, एडवर्ड द 6th, जो जेन एंड हेनरी का बेटा था, which who was actually to be the king of this kingdom, उसने क्या किया, he again उसने मैरी को, एलिजाबेथ को again illegitimate बना दिया so that they cannot be the queens, और ताकि वो ही बने king. So again they were again in this illegitimate situation again. So the sixth wife of Henry, who was Catherine, what she did was she got Mary and Elizabeth back into the kingdom. So as you can see, there is a lot of to and fro between Mary and Elizabeth. कभी उन्हें बाहर निकाल देते, कभी उन्हें वापस ले आते, and that is how it was working. Now some people mention that Elizabeth and Mary were not like very fond of each other. उनकी बहुत बनती नहीं थी. Mary was low-key jealous of Elizabeth, because Elizabeth got everything that she could never get, right? Because Elizabeth had a better life than Mary. Like as you can see, Mary को बेचारी की हमेशा से ही हालत खराब थी, उसको कभी निकाल देते थे, कभी वापस ले आते थे, and वो सबसे बड़ी बेटी होने के बाद भी she couldn't be the heir to this throne, which was pretty sad. So that is how Mary's life was. It was pretty traumatic. Her relationship with the father was not good, and definitely she had some daddy issues, and it was not good. That is the crux of it. So in 1547, Henry died and Edward VI was made the king. And इनका क्या था कि Mary was Catholic while जो King Henry था वो Protestant धर्म का था. So they had like Catholic and Protestant. So Catholic is like typical Catholic people, like जैसे होते हैं, I don't know कैसे होते हैं, but वैसे ही थे. And then there were Protestants that were loosely Catholics. So King Edward ने क्या किया था कि if I die, तो मेरे बाद Lady Jane Grey would be the next queen. This Lady Jane Grey girl, she was somehow linked to them, like उन कुछ distant relative थी, and she could be the queen, right? Because वो उन्हीं की family में से थी, तो she would be the next king. But क्या हुआ कि जब एडवर्ड की डेथ हो गई, मैरी ने लेडी जे ग्रीन और उसकी फैमिली को किडनैप करा लिया, एंड ऑफ कोर्स दे डाइड. सो as a result, Mary was made the queen. So definitely she had to work her way up, you know, after all that. So Mary then married Philip II of Spain, right? And Mary का क्या था ना, because she was Catholic, she wanted everybody to be Catholic, right? And she was very, 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 you know, how to say, cutter about it. Like अगर आपको नहीं Catholic बनना है, then she would go bonkers. Like आप या तो कैथलिक बनोगे या आप मर जाओगे. You cannot be Protestant. And I think the reason for this was कि Mary was a little bit, you know, she hated her father. Her father was Protestant. She sort of hated her father, and now she didn't want anybody to be Protestant at all. So everybody has to be Catholic or you die. Now she was actually converting everybody to Catholicism, or you know, actually she was forcing everybody to Catholicism. But what really happened was there were people who actually refused to be Catholic, and there were like 280 people that she burnt to death, and she was actually killing people. अगर वो Catholic नहीं बनते थे, they would just die, and that is what Mary was doing. And I think this is the one reason why people actually call her Bloody Mary, because she was killing people left, right and center with no regrets, just because they were not converting to her religion, and that is bonkers. Okay, now another thing with Mary was, and I think this can be another version of why she's called Bloody Mary, is because that Mary wanted a child, but she always actually suffered from, I'm not sure, it was endometriosis. I think she had this disease from very early, you know, puberty years, teenage years, or maybe as a child, I don't know, but she had endometriosis from quite an early age. And when you have this endo, you probably can't have child very easily, and Mary again was struggling to have a child. So this one time it was just said that Mary is pregnant, right? She gained weight, her periods stopped, right? She grew a belly like pregnant women does, right? But what really happened was, even when time came, you know, जब childbirth का time आया, and you know, उनके kingdom में everybody prepared a chamber for queen to give birth, but there was no baby, right? So that happened with her. Now people call this as phantom pregnancy, because you know, phantom pregnancy इसमें क्या होता है कि ना, if a woman wants a child very desperately, even though she cannot have it, तो उसकी body उसी हिसाब से you know काम करना शुरू कर देती है. Like okay, we have conceived, we have a kid, when in reality there is no kid. So जो भी होता है ना, body के symptoms बिल्कुल वैसे हो जाते हैं जैसे pregnancy में होते हैं. Like you will gain weight and your periods will stop, you will grow a belly and everything, but there will be no child. And that is what happened with her. There was no child, and this happened to her for 2 times. Okay, so she had this false pregnancy twice, right? And yeah, then she died in 1558, and I think she died because of, you know, her endo and all these, you know, reproductive organ diseases. And it is said that she died of ovarian cancer or something. Yeah, she definitely had some issue, and yeah, she died because of that. Now she was extremely jealous of Elizabeth, because obviously Elizabeth back then was young, she could have kids. she had everything that Mary could never have. And after Mary died, Elizabeth actually became the queen. Now, when Mary died and usko jab bari kiya, and when Elizabeth died and usko bari kiya, Elizabeth ka jo tomb hai, it is far beautiful than Mary's. And even after death, Elizabeth has something better than Mary, and that is, oh my god, that is so bad. I feel bad for this girl, right? So Mary, I think she lived for like hardly 40 years or something and just died after that due to cancer, which is a very miserable life to live, okay? I mean, imagine being the queen herself and still having this type of life where it's just nothing, it's just shambles. I feel bad for her, right? All that glitters is not gold, and royal family definitely is not the gold, okay? And yeah, that's it. I hope you like this video. I hope you like the story, and please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll meet you in the next video, guys. Bye bye.